All right, everybody, thank you for rejoining us. We are being joined now by redshirt senior graduate and second team All-ACC linebacker James Skalski. We'll turn it over to John at the Sugar Bowl for moderation. John, go ahead.
Thank you very much for joining us this morning, James. We're going to go straight into the questions now. I'll let you know who's asking the questions, and they'll hop right in. We're going to start off with Brendan Gulick from Buckeyes Now.
Hi, James. Congrats on getting back to the playoffs here. I want to ask you about Ohio State's offense as you guys have scouted them. Obviously, the offense has been pretty strong again this year, and they've shown they can win games in different ways. Trey Sermon last time out burst onto the scene with a record-breaking performance running the ball. When you guys watched that Big Ten title game, where did you see maybe some defensive breakdowns from Northwestern that enabled Sermon to have such a big day?
Yeah, I mean, just being disciplined and fitting gaps. And those guys between Sermon and Teague, Master Teague, what a football name. But they're just great running backs, to find the hole. So the second, you make a mistake and miss a fit, I mean, they're out the gate. So you got to be very disciplined. You got to be on your P's and Q's, and they'll make you pay if you're not.
Next question is Scott Rabelais with the New Orleans Advocate.
Last year, when you played in New Orleans, you were playing such a great game, and then, of course, the ejection happened. Did you have any thoughts about when you saw you guys were coming back to New Orleans for this game? Did it mean anything to be back in this game and just being back in the playoffs? Do you feel like, is there any kind of not redemption, but a chance to prove yourself again on this stage?
Yeah, I mean, I've been fortunate enough to be in the playoff picture every year I've been here. So, there's never really any redemption. Of course, maybe we want to win. But, we're just grateful to be in the playoff again. We don't care where we play or who we play. And we're just fortunate to be here and excited for the opportunity. I'm 2-0-2 in New Orleans, though, too. So, that kind of lingers in your head, and you want redemption in that aspect. But, other than that, we're just trying to win the next game.
We're going to go to Patrick Murphy with 24/7 Sports.
Hey, James, similar question, but looking at the passing game, Ohio State has done well most of the games, but struggled with Justin Fields in the Big Ten championship game. Similar to the question you were asked earlier about the running game, what did you see there that maybe you guys can now take into this game to try and slow that passing attack down?
It's going to be hard. You got a Heisman caliber player in Fields. They got great skill. They got great receivers. They got great tight ends. They got dudes everywhere. So I think just Northwestern did a pretty good job. And I think Ohio State probably just didn't play their best. I think that was the main factor. They're a great team, and they're going to bring it. So we just got to try to do our job and compete, make competitive plays, and put ourselves in good position.
Up next is Grace Rayner from The Athletic.
Hey, James, can we go way back to your recruitment and why Clemson, why Coach Sweeney and Coach Venables?
Yeah, my dad played for Oklahoma. I wasn't really a fan of anyone, which kind of helped me out a little bit, in my recruitment. My coach growing up was very similar to V, and that intensity aspect, in your face, demand perfection, all that. So as soon as I met V, I kind of fell in love with his style and his intensity, and we're just on the same wavelength, me and him. And then that's before I knew the kind of man Sweeney was. So it was a win-win, when both of them are recruiting you. The decision was easy at the end of the day. I knew from pretty early that, I wanted to play for a man like Sweeney, and I wanted to be coached from a guy like Coach V.
Next up is Joey Kaufman from the Columbus Dispatch.
James, this will be your third time playing Ohio State over your career at Clemson. When you prepare for them, at this point, does it feel, because of the familiarity, like a rivalry game?
I wouldn't call it rivalry, but there's I think we definitely there's blood in the water for both of us. It's just I don't think it's a rivalry. I think it's a semifinal playoff game. It's a chance to go play for a national championship. It doesn't matter who you're playing at that point. You want to win, and they do too. There's definitely a a lot of intensity brought into the game, and that could feel like a rivalry game, but I wouldn't call it that. It's a playoff game. It's to go to the big show. So
Next up is Josh Needleman from the Charleston Post and Courier.
Hey, Jamie. We heard from Dabo earlier that Xavier missed the game last week because he was in a protocol situation. Just do you have any insight into how he's doing mentally after having missed all that time this offseason, recovering from COVID and strep, and then missing the title game again last week?
I don't want to speak on Xavier's behalf. I mean, I know he's got teammates that are all on his side. They're all there for him, and support group. You can't get any better here at Clemson. So, I mean, y'all can talk to him personally if y'all, get in his head. But I just know everyone in this building is supporting him and whatever he's going through.
Next question is David Hale.
Hey, James. I'm curious, you mentioned the personality of Coach Sweeney as being one of the reasons that you wanted to play there. I feel like this year he has probably been criticized more than he had probably ever been in his career for a lot of reasons that I think are just explicitly Dabo. He speaks his mind on things without necessarily trying to couch his words to make other people happy. I'm curious what it's been like for you as players to sort of see some of that critique of him this year as the season has gone along.
No, I mean, it's just a normal year for us. I mean, if you spend all your time trying to please everybody, it usually doesn't end well for you. You don't get accomplished and do things you want to do, and you kind of change your belief, in some of the things. I'm with Dabo 100% all the time. I don't see anything different. He's always been this way to me. So, I'm behind him full force always.
Next, we'll go to Bill Landis from The Athletic.
Hey, James. Is there any similarities between what you all had to do against Ian Book and kind of containing him in the pocket to what you're going to have to do against Justin Fields with his ability to create plays?
100%. You could argue Fields is even more talented athletically with speed and stuff. The guy makes plays. He's going to play. He's, like I said, he's a Heisman caliber player. He's going to play in the league. He's a great player. So we're just, like I said, you got to be on your P's and Q's, got to do your job, and you got to do it at a high level.
Next up is Anna Hickey from Clemson 247.
Hey, Jamie. How are you feeling physically after the ACC championship? And how do you feel right now?
I feel great now. I feel fantastic. And then after the ACC championship, I was sore, but it was the right kind of sore. It was the first time I was that kind of sore all year. Really, I've been dealing with injury all year, something here, something there. But after the ACC game, it was that soreness where, it was like, I just played a football game, a championship football game, the kind of soreness you like and you want. So, I feel like I'm pretty much 100% now. I feel really good, practicing hard, and I'm happy to finally, kind of be healthy.
Next up is Dennis Dodd from CBS Sports.
You got me, James?
I hear you.
Yeah. So much has been made about the spread offenses and how they can't be stopped, and everybody's running them. You guys run it. Alabama runs it. Ohio State runs it. Is there a secret sauce being developed somewhere, maybe at Clemson, to slow it down? As magic as it is? Yeah, no. Nowadays with these offenses, they do such a good job creating, space and mismatches, and it's hard. It's hard to stop anybody. But I think the secret is bend, don't break. It's, they're going to make plays. They're good too, but don't give up the big play and play good red zone defense. Everyone's capable of moving the ball, but it's a matter of can they do it an entire game, and could you make the crucial stops at crucial moments to pull away?